Going into freshman year can be one of the most stressful times for any high schooler. You have to deal with all this mental stress, you feel like you don't belong there, and then on top of that, you get a ton of homework that seems almost daunting compared to middle school. And then on the football side of things, it seriously doesn't get much easier from there. So I'm gonna give some tips on my personal experience as a freshman and being on the varsity team at that time. Let's start with this school side of things, the mental fatigue from all the homework, trying to fit in, trying to be the popular kid. This all comes into play and kind of affects your football as well, because we all know the importance of the mental side of the game. And if you can't control this side of your life, the football side will be affected as well. Almost all freshmen want to fit in as fast as possible. You want to find your friend group, you want to have established best friends and be the cool kid in class and have good grades. That's a lot of stress to put on a 14, 15-year-old. So you kind of have to balance everything, and that is the hardship of being a freshman and a high schooler in general, is you have to balance multiple things at the same. But there's one thing that helped me survive this period during high school, and that was the keep busy mindset. I've made a TikTok on this, but whenever you get a homework assignment, whenever you get a task, whether it's with homework or at school or at home as well, chores even, do it right away so that you can save time for later, so that you're not having to pile task upon task and then have all of this stress, and you can have free time for later, because having free time as a high schooler can feel rare. So keep busy and always do tasks as fast and diligently as possible so you can save time for later. For me as a freshman, I was always productive. I was always trying to get my work done, but if I'll be completely honest with you guys, I was always the super shy kid in class, super introverted, especially in freshman year. That was one of the hardest times in my life because I did not feel like I belonged at all. I didn't have a real friend group. I didn't really have a best friend. And this kind of affected my football as well. I wasn't really performing well on the field because I was distracted from the feeling of not belonging and all that mental stress from homework as well and trying to fit in. And it's natural to feel this pressure to fit in, but you kind of have to subside these feelings of trying to fit in and realize that, guys, with me where I'm at right now, I'm going to be a junior in college. And when I tell you guys that popularity in high school doesn't matter at all in the real world, I cannot be more clear with that. No one cares if you were the popular kid in high school, and then after high school, none of that matters. So put your head down and get to work on football, because that is actually what translates into the future. If you can be a footballer, that is what people will remember, not the fact that you were a cool kid in high school. So put yourself first, put the pride aside. You don't need to fit in with all the cool kids. You know, you can all obviously socialize and have a friend group and, you know, do fun high school things, but overall, just don't get your head wrapped up in that need for popularity, because none of that matters after. And now let's get into the football side of things, because that does not get easier by any means. More often than not, you are going to be the small kid, and even if that's not the case, even if you got a bit of height on you, you're still gonna feel like the player that people are gonna neglect and pick on just because you're a freshman. And that is the harsh reality of being a freshman as a footballer, especially if you're in varsity, because people will pick on you. You're the little guy, you're the guy that makes the most mistakes, so everyone's just gonna laugh at you and make a joke out of it. And I took all of this so personally in high school, and it affected me so much. And I highly recommend you just put your head down. Again, put your head down and get to work. And honestly, like, the people that are making fun of you, I was in that position when I was a junior and a senior. I would kind of almost make fun of the freshmen and the little guys, and, you know, not blatantly to hurt their feelings, but honestly just because I thought I was a cool kid and I thought it was cool to make fun of people, and it's honestly something that I'm embarrassed about. But now I can provide the value to you guys that nothing that they say is personal. They don't mean to hurt your feelings. They're just doing it from a pride standpoint. They're insulting you, they're making fun of you to make themselves feel better about themselves. So that's all you need to worry about, is just what are you doing on the football pitch? What are you doing training, sleep-wise, homework, getting all that work done? And use homework and training almost as a distraction from the noise, because there's a lot of noise in high school and you don't want that to distract you from how you want to play on the pitch.